G'day, my name is Peter and you're watching Contagious. I don't know who this is, and I don't know who they are, but this here is seriously good news.
But here on Contagious, we want to say, good on you, mate, yeah!
Yes! You know, right down through history, people have confused following Jesus with religion. Because you see, following Jesus is about knowing God personally in your heart. Whereas religion is when we do things that make us look like we know God, but we really don't know God in our hearts. And the funny thing is that back in the Bible days, out of all the people that knew Jesus, it was the religious people that hated him. In fact, they hated him so much they wanted to kill him. Let's imagine that Jesus hasn't come 2,000 years ago, but he's come today and now in the 21st century. What would have that day, what would have that temple been like? The religious people had all the God stuff, but they didn't have God. They would say the right things and look like they cared, but their hearts were far from God. They cared more about money and appearances and power. Instead of helping people, they would help themselves. And Jesus wasn't fooled. Imagine if we could go back and have a bit of a chat with some of the people in the Bible. You know, there was two kinds of kings. There were good kings and there were bad kings in the Bible. A bad king let the whole nation get caught up in idols and false gods and weird religions. A good king made everybody worship and serve the living God. There was a good king and his name was Josiah. I wonder what it would have been like to talk to little King Josiah. Now, he had a bit of a cleanup work from the bad kings before him. So let's imagine what it would be like to go and talk to him. Excuse me! Oh, excuse me!
Friend or foe!
Oh, friend, you can put your knife away. Put your knife away. I just wanted to talk to Josiah.
King Josiah!
King Josiah.
That's me.
Excuse me? We want to ask you some simple questions, like, what's it like to be a king?
Awesome. Fun.
Fun? With all the weight of responsibility, how could it possibly be fun?
Because I don't have to make my bed in the morning and I can do anything I want. Breakfast, and I can stay up as late as I want at night.
And tell me, King, what about school? You know, obviously you'd be doing school, you know.
What?
You know, where you sit in a classroom and have a teacher that teaches you.
I learned everything off my father, King David.
Yeah.
He's in this. Here's another one of your soldiers.
Mission accomplished, sire. Woo! We took every false god and every idol and we ground them into powder. Yeah. The kings, they worship false gods and false idols, not the true living God, the God that created everything. Yeah.
Imagine what it would be like to talk to Elijah the prophet. Wonder what it would be like to go back in time and speak to a man like that.
Let me tell you, the people in this nation, they aren't quite sure, they're quite confused. Some are worshipping a god called Baal, and some don't know whether they're worshipping the Lord, the true God, you see?
Yeah.
Well, what I've done to clear their confusion totally, I've said let's have a competition. That's what I've said, let's do that.
A competition,
Yes,
what, mate?
absolutely.
I'm into competition, so tell us, what's this competition entail? What's
Well, the rules of this competition are that you're to build a big barbecue,
right?
and on that barbecue you should put a big piece of meat. A cow will be great.
Right.
And then, but no one can light that barbecue. Each party is to pray to their God, and then the God that lights the barbecue, the God that answers in fire, is the true God.
That's a good competition,
Good,
mate.
I thought it was great.
Great, mate. So tell us, how's the competition going?
Well, very good. For us, not for those who worship Baal. They've been screaming, ranting, raving, scrawling, spitting. They've even cut themselves and are bleeding all over their barbecue. In fact, I called out to them before and I said, hey, worshippers of Baal, why don't you yell louder? Perhaps your God is on holidays. Perhaps he can't hear you. Maybe he's deaf. Perhaps he's on the toilet. They're not having much luck.
No. So tell me,
I knew they wouldn't.
obviously, mate, it's all in the book.
Good book.
Very good book. So, when's it your turn?
Well, it's my turn now. Look, they're pouring the last bucket of water on my fire. They've done that 3 times, you know.
Now,
Doused it in water.
Isn't water going to make the barbecue harder to light?
Well, maybe a natural barbecue, but God's supernatural, isn't he?
Yes, he is, Elijah.
Fantastic. Oh, wow. Well, excuse me, I've got work to do. Use people, clear the way. Make way. Stand back. People, stand back, clear the way. You are the true Lord, and I am your servant. Today, Lord, answer us in fire and show these people. Oh, answer us in fire. He is the true God. He is the true God. Baal is alive. The true God is real. Baal is false. Worship the Lord.
Oh, there's so many different religions. It can get quite confusing. So, who's right and who's telling the truth? Well, it's simple. None of them. That's because it's not about things. You know, things that we read in books and have to obey. It's not about things that people make with their hands and we have to bow down and worship. No, it's about a person. That person is Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the Messiah. Whoa, that's what it's about. It's about relationship, not religion.